Hola! In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my favorite Spanish language learning podcasts and how I think they're going to help you improve your Spanish. Bienvenido a mi canal, soy Abigail, and on this channel I help full-time professionals reach their language learning dreams. So I have two favorite Spanish language learning podcasts. Número uno, the Duolingo podcast, and número dos, How to Spanish podcast. Let's start with Duolingo's podcast. So this podcast is set up with intermediate Spanish, but with additional context in English. So you hear someone's story told from their perspective, but you have extra context in English about vocabulary, cultural norms, and also in general, sometimes a little bit about the Spanish. I really love this podcast because it exposes you from the get-go to a variety of accents in Spanish. It's quite amazing how different the accents can sound across, say, Argentina in comparison to Mexico or Mexico or otros países. And so it's quite nice to have, one source that you can go to and get a lot of this exposure. The second thing I really love about it is that it really, I think, opens up a door to culture for the Spanish-speaking world. They don't just focus on Latin America, they also have content from mainland Spain. And so you're hearing about famous literary characters, you're hearing about environmental activists, you're hearing about ordinary people in these different countries across the last 100 years or so, and sometimes even before. So you're kind of getting to see beyond your own bubble from where you yourself are located. The third thing that's super awesome about this is that storytelling is a great way to help someone remember something. Try and think of anything that you've learned lately, and if that was from a TED Talk, do you remember the story that the person told to get you to learn that fact? So to have this kind of method of knowledge sharing embedded in the podcast itself makes it a very, very valuable asset for you and trying to remember new vocabulary in a way that's fun, that seems really contextually based, and which you can kind of have a nice anecdote to take away in the future. So fourth and fifth, there are many seasons of the podcast, so you have plenty of content to get into, whether you like to hear horror stories in Spanish, or whether you want to hear about the lives of ordinary people or people doing great things for environmental and social good. There's literally so many seasons of content you can dig into that you can just pick and choose whatever suits your interest. The fifth thing that's really awesome is the availability of transcripts. This is especially great, I guess, if you're wanting to really document vocabulary or understand, which tense did they use when. If you just go to the Duolingo podcast website, you can get the transcripts, and therefore you can do that self-study at your own time, at your own pace afterwards. If you're checking out the Duolingo podcast now, give me a comment below with the title of the episode that you think you're going to start with. My second favourite Spanish language learning podcast is How to Spanish podcast. So this is run by two phenomenal YouTubers who have both a YouTube channel but are also available on the major podcast platforms. What I love about their podcast is that they're just really, really fun, and they also have quite a broad range of topics that they cover. So these two YouTubers release content really, really regularly, including YouTube Shorts, and I think they also have a website with other resources that you can go and check out. They are based in Mexico, so all of their content is around Mexican Spanish, but what's great about that is that you start to learn pieces of slang, you start to learn how real people tend to express themselves. Entonces, si quisieras ir a México, tendrías las herramientas para usar la idioma. So those are my two favorite Spanish language learning podcasts. What do you think? Have you heard of those before? Are you going to check them out? And if you have any other favorite podcasts, do let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, please share with the rest of nuestra comunidad. Hasta luego. Thanks for watching. The YouTube algorithm thinks that you might like these videos, so why not check them out?